Hello everyone, I'm redoing this intro because the first one I was kind of disorganized. But now all the drawings are done. All the drawings are done. So, yeah, we're doing a redesign of the Gen 1 starters. Not necessarily the first forms. I'm more or less okay with how those are as it stands. We're going to talk about them first. Because the first forms of the Gen 1 starters are or just starters in general, are probably the most important designs in the Pokemon series. In general, I think what makes a good starter design set, not just any individual starter, is to strike a good balance of cute and cool so that one doesn't outweigh another. Like, Gen 1, I think they're all on pretty much even playing fields in terms of their design. The faces are a bit homogenized with these rounded eyes and whatnot, but other than that, well, I guess they have the kind of rounded head too, with the exception of the ears over here on Bulbasaur. But outside that, the designs are pretty unique. I mean, they're basically varying flavors of reptile, but they have enough of a unique spin that it keeps them interesting. Now, I think actually Gen 2 is probably where the problem with starter designs kind of started. I don't think the designs are bad, obviously. All the starter designs are good. Yes, all of them, even though some of them are overhyped, all of the designs are good, but Gen 2 didn't really strike the same balance with its designs as Gen 1, and neither did Gen 3. Gen 4 struck it a bit better, but it was kind of... 5 was also... But, you know... I think Gen 7 is really the first real generation where I've actually found that the starter designs were consistently as good as the Gen 1 and most of the Gen 2 starters. The problem with Gen 2 is that I think Chikorita leans a bit too far on the cute side and doesn't fall into the cool camp with Totodile and Cyndaquil, so it'll more likely skew the appeal to people's tastes more. It makes it less difficult. I know for me, when I first played Gen 2, I always leaned more towards Cyndaquil and Totodile, personally. I don't know how it was for other people. I did eventually try out Chikorita, but I ended up being disappointed. That's aside the point. Gen 1 starters are pretty good. Most of what I'm going to be redesigning for this video is going to be the second and third evolutions of them, because that's where I think the problems start to crop up in the designs. And let's get to it. Now, the first full evolution line I want to talk about is Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur. I actually think these ones are really good. Like, they're probably the best designs of all the starters in terms of consistency of theme and gradual evidence of growth. Charizard is close second, but we'll get to that. I don't really have anything to change about Bulbasaur, Venusaur, and Ivysaur's design, but I'm also going to be adapting the Mega Evolutions, which I like the idea of Mega Evolutions in theory, but I think regional variants are more interesting, so we're going to be adapting the regional variant from Mega Venusaur. We're just going to consider it in lowland form or tropical form or something, so you'll know the theme. I thought it was too boring to actually base an entire Bulbasaur through Venusaur line on Mega Venusaur, so I decided to change the plant on its back from Corpse Lily to the Corpse Flower Tidum Arum. So that's what the theme for that design is. If you don't know what that is, look it up, or I'll post it in the video during editing. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. It's already done, but I'm going to show you. I may or may not supply post commentary, but we're gonna go look at the speed drawing, or speed at the footage of me redesigning all of these boys, and then we'll get back to talking about them over here. Right, so this is tropical Venusaur and Ivysaur and Bulbasaur. Like I said, based on the Titanarum, the design concept is... It's slowly changed from Toad to a weird chameleon thing with Venusaur. I kind of like it, because the bright colors over here are... I don't know, they just feel really distinct compared to regular Venusaur. I got some comments saying that it would be more interesting if this part of the flower on Venusaur's back was leaning forward as if to fire sludge bombs or something. And that was a good idea. I'm a bit surprised I didn't think of it. But I wanted to stay true to the original plant, but I guess that ended up being a bad idea. I don't know if anyone's wondering, but what's going on with the hair and whatnot on Ivysaur is that it's the roots of the seed of the plant growing through the body and coming out the... I don't really know what the patches are on Bulbasaur and Ivysaur in the original design, so I just took them as soil patches on the skin or something. So the roots are coming through there, and it's not really bothering Bulbasaur too much, but he's feeling the effects of toxins from the plant just because they're growing through him. And since the plant really starts to grow with Ivysaur, it's a bit more angsty. You see poison tips start to appear on the edge of the roots now, and it even starts to grow a little tail from it. The tail doesn't really show up in the final design, but that's all fine. I thought just for fun, just to add to the extra level of angst, I turned some of the roots into a little pompadour. I just thought that was funny. Yeah, these ones are a lot of fun to draw. I don't think I went too overboard with the red on the final design. I replaced all the warts that are normally on Venusaur with the spikes, and I also changed the natural color of the claws to the same color as the roots as of Ivysaur, and it's more noticeable with Venusaur. I don't know if it was a good idea to do that for the teeth as well, but I just thought it was really distinct. Also for the eyes, I wanted to really sell the venomous poison look. So Bulbasaur, since he's still not quite adjusted to it, he's got like a purplish, deadish eye look to him. Because he's like, oh man, I got poison in me. That kind of sucks. And then Venusaur's just really irritated by it. He's like, poison spikes jamming through my flesh. Oh god. It's a very painful growth process. And Venusaur's gotten used to it. Like, the Pompadour's even turned into a little horn. And that's kind of inspired by Chameleos from Monster Hunter a little bit. Just a little bit. More just chameleons in general, though. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I guess I could have added a bit more to Venusaur, but I'm pretty happy with how these turned out. What do you guys think? Generally, I think Bulbasaur's a great design already, so this is just like a fun exercise for me. Well, I guess now you guys want to talk about Charmander, right? Yeah, let's get to that. Right, Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. I really like these designs. I really do. They're fantastic. But there are some things I wasn't really happy with about the designs. Like, in general, I think they're great. It shows the natural progression of the evolution quite effectively. Tail gets longer, yeah. Horns, it grows 2 of them in final form, 1 horn in second form. That's a nice progression, but where the fuck do the wings come from? Like, I guess they wanted it to be a surprise, but it's always kind of struck me as odd that they have this gradual design going on, and then suddenly, BAM! Wings! And I'm just like, what? Oh, what? I'm obviously exaggerating. The design's fine, but, you know, this is just fun exercise about how I would make it better. You got a problem with that? Then fight me. And before we talk about the Mega Evolutions, this is actually one of the instances where I redesign the original evolution rather than adapt a Mega Evolution. So, I'm gonna run that footage, and then we'll...
inspiration. All I need is admiration, big frustration, bro. He goes like fish, so we gave a shot, but didn't work, honey, cause we had a whole lot going on and on and on. Signs of love overshadowed by dreams. Baby, don't worry, cause you ain't alone. Only time finding days without nights. Tears pass through. Every time, look at the picture in the frame. Gazing fascination, so hard. You still think that it's nothing but love. Rain still falls. Baby, I remember you had dreams that were not intended by soul. Cloudy sky overshadowed by rain. Baby, don't cry. All our song repressed by sundress beat. You have created it again. Contrast tears pouring down. You will see signs of love. Signs of love overshadowed by dreams. Baby, don't worry, cause you ain't alone. Only time finding days without nights. Tears pass through. Said I'm the one who's got to leave. I said nobody's really got to leave, cause I don't hate an explanation. All I need is admiration, big frustration, bro. He goes like fish, so we gave a shot, but didn't work, honey, cause we had a whole lot going on and on and on. Signs of love overshadowed by dreams. Baby, don't worry, cause you ain't alone. Only time finding days without nights. Tears pass through. Every time, look at the picture in the frame. Gazing fascination, so hard. You still think that it's nothing but love. Rain inspiration. All I need is admiration, big frustration, bro. He goes like fish, so we gave a shot, but didn't work, honey, cause we had a whole lot going on and on and on. Signs of love overshadowed by dreams. Baby, don't worry, cause you ain't alone. Only time running days without nights. Tears pass through. Every time, look at the picture in the frame. Gazing fascination, so high. You still think that it's nothing but love. Rain still falls. Baby, I remember you had dreams that were not intended by sorrow. Cloudy sky overshadowed by rain. Baby, don't cry. All our song repressed by sundress beat. You have created it again. Contrast tears pouring down. You will see signs of love. Signs of love overshadowed by dreams. Baby, don't worry, cause you ain't alone. Only time running days without nights. Tears pass through. Said I'm the one who's got to leave. I said nobody's really got to leave, cause I don't hate an explanation. All I need is admiration, big frustration, bro. He goes like fish, so we gave a shot, but didn't work, honey, cause we had a whole lot going on and on and on. Signs of love overshadowed by dreams. Baby, don't worry, cause you ain't alone. Only time running days without nights. Tears pass through. Every time, look at the picture in the frame. Gazing fascination, so high. You still think that it's nothing but love. Rain still falls. inspiration. All I need is admiration, big frustration, bro. He goes like fish, so we gave a shot, but didn't work. Honey, cause we had a whole lot going on and on and on. Signs of love overshadowed by dreams. Baby, don't worry, cause you ain't alone. Only time running this without night. Tears pass through. Every time, look at the picture in the frame. Gazing fascination, so hard. You still think that it's nothing but love. Rain still falls. Baby, I remember you had dreams that were not intended by some cloudy sky overshadowed by rain. Baby, don't cry. All our song repressed by sunrise speed. You have created it again. Contrast tears pouring down, you will see signs of love.
Right, as we all know, second evolution's always some angsty teenage form of a Pokemon. Yeah, we all know that. Yes, I know. And, maybe some of you don't think that, but in Gen 1 it kind of seemed that way, because like every second form was a slightly angrier version of the previous form with some additional appendages. And basically, this design's roughly the same as the original Charmeleon, but I gave it a bit more of an aggressive pose. And as you can see, it has like a half wing growing out of its arm that it flaps it out to make itself look bigger to intimidate prey or other predators or whatnot. That's what an animal would do. That's what an animal would do. Like, this is something a lot of feathered animals do as well. It's not. Sometimes it's for mating, but other times they can be used as a means to make themselves appear larger. It's just interesting. I thought it'd be fun to adapt that into the design of Charmeleon. Like I said, this is like a re-adaptation of the original design rather than building off a concept from the Mega Evolutions. So I thought it would be interesting. Yeah, that's about it. Nothing more to say on that one, so let's move on to the Mega redesign. Now, it's pretty understandable that the Mega Evolutions of Charizard are insanely popular, like, a ridiculous amount, and I get it. I get it. The color scheme on Charizard X is amazing, and I love the design of Charizard Y. But really, that's just it. For Charizard X, I don't like the overall design of the body. Like, I don't get what's going on with the wings getting this weird wave pattern. Unless it's, like, evolved from Hydreigon, unless it has a shared ancestry with Hydreigon from Gen 5 or something that I don't know about. But the design's kind of all over the place. The ability it has is Tough Claws in the game, and I don't really see it. The claws are slightly bigger, sure, but I don't know. It's not what I would think of when doing a design like this. It's supposed to be the more aggressive physical version with better defenses. And since it actually is not a flying type anymore, it actually takes damage from ground hits, so it doesn't really need the wings in the first place. So those could have been adapted into something else, which we'll be covering in a little while. But before we get to that, I want to talk about Charizard Y, since I think that's actually the better design of the two, outside the color scheme. The color scheme itself is pretty much the same as regular Charizard, so there's nothing of note there. like I said, I think Charizard X has the more interesting color palette, but Charizard Y's design is more interesting. It feels like a natural extension of the Charizard design. It's got the wing flaps over here, which is kind of what I drew inspiration from for the wings on the Charmeleon from earlier, if you'll recall. The wings themselves are a lot larger, which I always liked. It has a longer tail, more spikes, and weirdly, despite it being more flying oriented, it doesn't really have anything that would suggest like dive bombing prey or anything with talons. So we're not going to be doing a severe overhaul to Charizard for the redesign of the Charizard Y line, but we are going to be redesigning Charmander and Charmeleon to accommodate that as if it were its own Alolan form. So let's get to it.
Can't get my mind out of those memories. the smile that you gave it to me. I had a way to tell you to walk away. Still sorrow keeps on tying me, but my soul wants to get free. Let my heart loose from my chain. Those long days passing by from the door, like late summer days slowly fade away. Finding ways through the favorite tune played all day, with my eyes closed. Those long days passing by from the door, like late summer days slowly fade away. Finding ways through the favorite tune, filling me with those sounds. Can't get my mind out of those memories. Now time to tell them don't take my dreams. Still music keeps on tuning me from the words that hurt my soul, removing doubts from my Can't remember the smile that you gave it to me. I had a way to tell you to walk away. Still sorrow keeps on tying me, but my soul wants to get free. Let my heart loose from my chain. Those long days passing by from the door, like late summer days slowly fade away.
Now, this is actually the first. I've actually done a redesign of X before, but this is my first time actually trying to redesign a regional variant based on Charizard Y. Like I said, Charizard Y itself is more or less the same design as the original. So nothing too of note there, Like, if you'll recall, I mentioned adding talons to the legs to make it look more like an aerial predator. I did that. That's about it. I want to make it look... I love the large wingspan, so I wanted to, like, poof it out more to make him look bigger. I think it looks good. It looks good. But more interestingly, I want to talk about Charmander and Charmeleon. I'm calling the Y regional variant the Highland Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard just because, you know, Highlands, they'd be living in a mountainous region where flying adaptations would be more beneficial than living on a plateau where the wings wouldn't be as necessary. Like, regular Charizard never struck me as a Pokemon that really needed to fly, so it probably just uses them to glide around most of the time. But these ones would be more adept at flight, so that's how I redesigned them. Charmander, specifically, is based loosely on the flying lizards, also known as Dracos. I think that's what the species is called, Draco lizards, which they're kind of like flying squirrels of reptiles. They have like a little tuft of skin and scales that they expand out and use to catch wind to glide around. Since Charmander wouldn't be able to fly, that's what it would do. I think it turned out pretty cute. Kind of looks like a little vampire boy with the flame tail too, because it's Charmander. And I also gave it the horn because Mega Charizard Y has 3 horns, and since I was keeping that for the Highland design, I thought, yeah, let's give Charmander a single horn and give Charmeleon 2 horns. That way, it feels like a natural progression. The hard part was making it so they would have those adaptations while still maintaining the feel of the original design, and not making Charmeleon look like, say, just a smaller Charizard. I mean, that's kind of what the evolutions are, but you get what I'm saying. And for Charmander, I was thinking that since it's going to be gliding, it could use that horn to dive bomb its prey and, like, stab the shit out of them with its horn when it swoop. Because that's the only way it would be able to get prey, since its talons aren't really super well developed. The talon design was added across the board for all of them. You know, I thought it was a lot of fun. Charmeleon in particular kind of gave me a hard time with the posing. I wanted to figure out what to do with the wings so that it wasn't like a second set immediately. So I opted for a split of appendages near the elbow, where the wings will spread out and fray while it still has its original claws, before they actually split off into 2 separate sets of wings and arms. So it's kind of got the same feel as the wing arms of Charizard, Highland Charizard or Charizard Y, without feeling like it's completely adapting that same design the same way I did the regular Charmeleon. And the 2 horns, I think they kind of work. I amped up the redness because Charizard Y has a slightly richer orange color than a regular Charizard. That might just be the Gen 6 art style, but I took it as a unique color in and of itself, because it's more interesting that way. This one's a bit more adept at using its wings to attack. Its talons to attack. So, as you can see, they're a lot larger now. So yeah, I guess put it in a pose where it looks like it's just swooping down, ready to like stamp an enemy into the ground or something. It's fun. It's fun. There's not really much more to say about the designs. I think they're a lot of fun. I've considered tweaking the color scheme of Charmeleon before, but I think the red's really distinct, so I may keep it. You guys can let me know what you think. And with that, we'll move on to Charizard X.
How we make each other on this wild and critical cell of life. Any cool how it changed the path of our lives, set us off a new adventure. This carousel takes us round and round. This labyrinth of life, you can't tell up from down. just begun. Welcome to this wide maze of life. Thinking you got us freaking, thinking you got like raps. Oh, how it all works now. Body spinning around and round. Cannot tell up from down. Spinning inside your mind. Cannot tell wrong from right. Nothing to do but let it go. Enjoy the ride. This carousel takes us round and round. This crazy maze of life. You can't tell up from down. Having so much fun, we forget to ask where this magic's taking us. But hey, here we come. This carousel spins you round and round. You really don't know why, but it makes you wanna shout. We've only just begun. Let's enjoy this wide maze of life. And it's great how we make each other on this wild and crazy carousel of life. Ain't it cool how it changed the path of our lives, set us off a new adventure. This carousel takes us round and round. This labyrinth of life, you can't tell up from down. Having so much fun, we forget to check when this crossroads taking us. But hey, here we come. This carousel spins us round so much. Sometimes you don't know should you stay or get off. It's only just begun. Welcome to this wide maze of life. of a new adventure. This carousel takes us round and round. This labyrinth of life, you can't tell up from down. Having so much fun, we forget to check when this crossroads taking us. But hey, here we come. This carousel spins us round so much. to this white maze of light. Thinking you got is freaking. Thinking you got like raps. Oh, how it's all.
Woo! This one was fun. This one was a lot, this one was a lot of fun to draw. I actually did another version of this before that looked way different. I'll post that on screen. I'm kind of happy with it, but I wanted to give it another spin because I got a lot of people saying that it looked like a T-Rex from Monster Hunter, which is kind of based on that somewhat, but you know. So for this one, I wanted to give a bit more personality to the designs, and like I said before, I wasn't happy with the wings of Charizard X since it can't fly anyway, so I gave it like, I converted all the mass into massive extra forearms that it uses like pin down prey or whatever, or for stability when doing its fire blasts. The concept behind these ones is that, you know how Charmander normally has like a fire tail and Charmeleon, well this one, well he can still have it, but I decided like, I took the concept of the fiery mouth of Charizard X and just rolled with it for the entire design. Like, instead of having the flame that keeps it alive grow on the tail, like normal, I thought, yeah, it's an internal fire inside of its mouth, so it, like, burns out. It's a coastal Charizard that would be from the Kalos region, and since it's on the coast, it has to deal with a lot of water types, so it obviously won't have the water typing because of its dragon attribute. And if it's going to be hunting prey that might come out of the water, it wouldn't want to have a clearly visible weak point on its back, on its tail. So now it's inside. It can't be easily put out, even if it's sprayed right in the mouth directly or something. That, like, Charmander, there's a second set of horns on Charizard X design that I kept in this one, because I like the head of Charizard X. And for the second set of horns, the tiny little horns back here, I put those as like eyebrows for Charmander to make him look a bit angstier. I think it almost looks like a mustache looking at it. I also borrowed a bit of concept from the Salandit design with like the fire roaring out of the line on the tail that ties into its internal furnace. Like, I thought maybe it could like act as a fuse, like whenever it's about to breathe fire, the fire starts by the tail and like rolls up to the face, and then it's just like. How do you like my special effects work? Impressive, right? Pixar should totally hire me. No, don't do that. You'll hate me. And Charmeleon, this one, I actually spent a lot of time working on that posing. Because I didn't want to make it look too much like my original Charizard design from like 2 years ago. But I also didn't want to make it look like it was too similar to this. So for Charmeleon, I basically got the idea that the arms were in the process of splitting. So as you can see, right along the claw here, and I guess the lesser extent here, let me make Charizard invisible real quick. Where is it? Let me make Charizard invisible so you can see. You can see these little claws coming out right above the larger set of claws, and that's because the arm is starting to split. Like, normally it would split from the wing, but since it's like a separate, larger arm, it's just splitting there. So, like, Charmeleon's in a lot of pain during this stage of its growth. So it's like, its internal flame is just raging. It's just furious. And that's why the flame tail's actually lit. Because normally it has enough control that doesn't happen. But since it's enraged, the fire is just spewing out everywhere. The flames around the mouth are more intense. And you might think the eyes are fucked up. That's just because it's just furious that its arms are splitting. I would be too if my arms were going to like split in half into a second set of arms, I'm sure I'd be angry and in pain a lot. That's why the claws are glowing a lot brighter than previously. Like with Charmander, there's a slight glow because that's how it burrows its claws into prey. It's kind of running with the tough claw concept, or it's an adaptation so that it can dig its feet firmer into the ground using heat, so that when it does its fire attacks, it can just spit them out without having to worry about too much kickback. Yeah. I'm really happy with how these turned out. The reason Charmeleon's flesh is so much brighter than Charmander, in my mind, is apart from it just being an adaptation of the drastically different colors that it normally gets with the regular Charmander line and the Highland variant that I showed you earlier, it's because since the internal flame is burning so harshly, it actually shows through the skin. So that's basically the concept behind that. As for Charizard itself, I touched on this a little bit, but the arms have split. You can see clearly a second set that begins right here. And he's got a lot more control over his body now. He's not a raging inferno anymore. He's got a lot more control now that his arms aren't splitting anymore and causing agonizing pain. You can see it still has adaptations of the wings, and I still incorporated that weird frill thing the X had going on. But it's not really like a proponent, since it's not using the wings to fly anymore. It doesn't really matter too much. That's just fun. I had a lot of fun working on this design. Like I said, even though Charizard X has a color scheme I don't like, it had a lot of potential, and I just like to experiment with where that could have gone. I think at this point I've exhausted all the possibilities, but I think this is my favorite design of the ones I've done for it so far. Yeah, let me know what you think. That's Coastal Charizard and Highland Charizard. How about them apples? Yeah, let's move on to Squirtle. Squirtle. This was actually my first starter because I had Pokemon Blue, and Pokemon Blue, gotta get the water starter. I used to love Squirtle. It used to be my favorite starter of all. Now it's Bulbasaur, but that's aside the point. So, in case you guys think I'm biased, kinda. For Squirtle, I don't like Squirtle's evolutions. Like, Squirtle himself is cute. I like Squirtle. But Wartortle and Blastoise, what's even going on? Like, take away the ears and the fangs in Wartortle and the tail, and Wartortle is basically just a purpler Squirtle. It's so fucking lazy compared to the other two with their evolutions. Like, Ivysaur has the plant blooming and it has a bit larger body and more firm muscles in its upper torso to support the plant, and Venusaur adapts a wide stance. And to be fair, Blastoise has a very different physique from the previous two forms. But, like, where did it come from? Like, I guess you could say that the tail of Wartortle is like an expanded version of the tail from Squirtle, but it's not the focus of the design. Like with Charmander, it had the fire tail, but that was just an element that was consistent among all forms, with the main change being the horns and the larger physique. But for Squirtle, why are there wings? Why does it have wing ears? Why are there metal cannons growing out of Blastoise's spine? Where do these other ears come from? What happened to the tail? What happened? What the fuck is all this? Squirtle's a fucking mess. Squirtle is a fucking mess. I don't like its evolutions at all. And don't even get me started on Mega Blastoise. Oh god. Like, it's taking the canon concept of Blastoise and rolling with it, but oh Jesus Christ, where does this cannon fit? Why does it have 2 more shells on its arm? What the fuck? What's going on with the eyebrows? What is this? It's everything about this is fucking awful. I hate it so much. The only conceivable way I could redesign this and be fully satisfied is if I just scrap the design altogether. That's the only way. Because God, I hate Squirtle and Blastoise. I mean, Wartortle and Blastoise. Let's get to the redesigns. I'm only doing Wartortle and Blastoise for this. I'm gonna adapt some of Mega into them, but I really wasn't feeling this.
Your fiction.
Alright, these are the last ones. Last ones, and then this video will be over. Why did I think doing 12 drawings for a single speed drawing video was a good idea? But yes, I redesigned Wartortle and Blastoise. First off, I gave them more dynamic poses, because the posing they had originally is really bland. That's just kind of a problem with the posing of Gen 1 art, or I guess it's the Gen 3 art, since that's when they, Kensuke Mori redrew it for Gen 3, when they made the Kanto remakes. The posing still hadn't changed much from the original, so it was still kind of dull. So I fixed that. Because I wanted I didn't want to like uproot the entire design. I tried to make the cannons look like they integrated a bit more naturally into the shell. Like maybe like a part of the shell spreads out and like sprays out like a hose or something. And for Wartortle, I gave it like a single cannon based loosely on those arm cannons that Mega Blastoise has. And if they got claws on their hands, they can use that to keep a grip while they shoot. Maybe Wartortle could like dig his tail into the ground or something for stability while it fires the cannon. Yeah. I like these poses a lot more, but really, they didn't really give me much to work with like I'd had with the previous two. They're just they're turtles. They're turtles. I don't know what else to say about them. Like, Caracosta's better. Caracosta's better. Tortuga's better. Any other turtle monster in the series is better than Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise. Squirtle's okay, but the other two forms, oh god. I don't like them. I'm not entirely happy with the redesigns either, but I think they're definitely an improvement, in my opinion. Well, that's just me. That's from somebody that really detests the design of Wartortle and Blastoise. I like most of the Gen 1 starters, but Wartortle and Blastoise are the weakest evolutions to any of them. Might be the weakest evolutions to any starter in the series, honestly. That's a bit harsh. I know some of you love Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise, and good on ya. The individual designs themselves, they're fine, but as an evolutionary line, I don't think they're very good. This is before Steel type was implemented, and as far as I can recall, Blastoise is the only non-Steel type Pokemon with metal implements jutting out of its body. As far as I can recall, I'll look into it later. There are like Steel-like substances on other Pokemon, but this is the only one where it like if they gave Blastoise a Steel typing like they did with Empoleon, I could see it working a bit better. I wouldn't be as angry about the cannons, but it just feels out of place on a pure water type like Blastoise. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the designs. I think I had the most fun with Venusaur and Coastal Charizard, Charmeleon, and Charizard. And I hope you guys enjoyed the redesigns as well. Sorry, I kind of half-assed Wartortle and Blastoise, but those are just so uninspired at the base level that even the Mega Evolution couldn't make them interesting enough to work with. Maybe I'll tackle them and try to redesign them wholesale some other time. But I have done 12 drawings, and I am fucking exhausted. So I'm going to go edit the next Zelda video. You guys can join me next time, and I hope this video lit a fire under ya, or in ya, or on your tail. Peace!